How's it going? Today it's probably going to be a short one because I have quite a few things to do or get done throughout the day. So what I thought I would actually do is I would go ahead and pick up the quest here for or from the Paladin trainer. Every class gets a quest at level 20 to do their or to get a specially made weapon as made by your faction leader. So it will take us out to Shadowfang Keep. Just kind of a heads up, I probably won't take the time to read the quest text in the dungeon like I normally do, just because it is going to be an LFG kind of thing, and I don't want to waste everybody's time, so I can read everything to everybody. So I'll just take a moment, and if you really want to read it, then you can pause it. Odds are most people don't, but it's fine if you do. So, before this, what I got done is I actually did quite a bit earlier this morning to just boring stuff that didn't really need to be on the stream. I worked on some professions, did the fishing daily, did the cooking daily. The fishing daily was catching some walleyes out in the lake north of Stormwind, and the cooking daily was catching crabs. Yes, I caught crabs. Um, Built up first aid, and I also picked up the archaeology, and then I also bought this little guy, Mischief, which um, one, of course, if you don't actually know, every year Blizzard does the Make a Wish Foundation uh, thing where if you buy whatever pet, then all of the profit they get from it goes to the Make a Wish Foundation. So I went ahead and bought Mischief, and I actually named him Maxwell. Whoops,
Be careful.
person's kind of in the way. Also named him Maxwell just because if he's going to be mischievous, he's probably going to be like the kitten I have, who's just a little pain in the butt. Alright, so let's get this started.
Need help?
I have been watching your progress, Mogon, and I can only conclude that the light shines brightly upon you. You are becoming an exemplary paladin. To honor your dedication, King Rin has commissioned the royal armorer to forge a special weapon. The materials to make your weapon are unique, and only found in the cursed Shadowfang Keep in Silverpine Forest. Travel there and recover the holy symbol of Commander Springvale, a supply of moonsteel ingots, and sinew from the ghouls and geists infesting the keep.
Light bless you.
Alright, so I will go ahead and queue for that the old-fashioned way. Well, if it was old-fashioned, I'd have to look for a group. But if it's instant queue, then we'll just go straight into it. If it's not, I'll go ahead and start making my way to Darkshore like I actually promised we would be doing today in the last stream, and maybe do a little bit of that. So let's see what we got. Also, you will notice that I have stopped experience. If you guys don't know how to do that, to the right of the throne room in Stormwind Keep, there's a guy named Beston. He's stealthed in the corner of the room. For 10 gold, he'll stop your experience. And I only did that in this case because I would be max level probably by the time I'd be max level before I ever even got to WoD content, and I kind of wanted to keep on par with it. I guess it's an old thing used for twinks. I don't know if twinks are really something that people do anymore. I assume somebody finds it fun, but I haven't heard as much about twinks lately. So it is not an instant queue. I don't know what the deal is, but could pop up at any moment. So why don't we go ahead and start making our way to Darkshore? Seems like I barely had any time in Stormwind. That's not the way. I thought healers and tanks were supposed to get instant queues in every dungeon at low level. Now what I'm really sad that I missed last night was out here last night, which was December the 11th, there was a giant Alliance meetup, and I was all excited to actually go to that because I like the Alliance meetups, even though generally when the Alliance comes together as a whole, it doesn't work as well as the Horde on this server, just because I'm not actually sure. Things happen, and it tends to not work as well, but I was excited to try and help it again. Jalen from Warbringer, put it on, and then of course, just as I log in, well, and then I get here and I start gathering everybody go up, my internet goes out, and it was out. It was back probably, or when it was back probably about 10 o'clock last night. Oh, here we go already. All right, now once again, I'm not going to read the quest text for the dungeon quest, but I will hesitate before accepting, so you can kind of read that.
We've been walled up for far too long. Farewell.
Get my beacon of light put on him. Luckily, these low-level dungeons, they barely need a healer. It's like I'm a technical thing. I'm better off just doing damage. Whoops. Hey, look. Oh, he's taking damage. I guess I'll heal through that, and that's about it. We got inscribed leather gloves. I'll greet on those. Oh shoot, you need some heals, buddy. I don't know my skills as a healer right now because I just don't do it often. But I doubt I'll have much problem in a dungeon this low level. But I also don't think my heals my heals aren't coming out that strong. We killed him before we could actually get our... I'm gonna go ahead and pick up this quest.
We are bound by a common enemy.
Alright. Now it says this is an upgrade. Is it really an upgrade? I guess it is. Alright, let's get the party healed up the rest of the way here. Holy crap, these heals are minuscule. I guess I probably need to start saving my holy shock for healing too. Shoot, I'm not even looking for the moonsteel ingots. Actually, I don't know if I've even seen some. Oh, there's some. Right there. They don't really need healers in these low-level dungeons. I mean, if this tank is at least moderately skilled, he'd probably be able to heal and tank the dungeon just fine. He'd have to pay attention though. Let me get over here and... Oh, okay, and he moved it out. That's good. May as well get practice in keeping him topped off, though. What do we get here? Strength and stamina ring. Get some more moon steel here. Well, I'll be well on my way to this. Apparently I won the ring. Hopefully they do just fine without me. Oh god, I better catch up. Oh, don't die, don't die, don't... Oh god, I can't... There we go. I'm not gonna care about you if you're running ahead. I get that they're low-level dungeons, but you don't just have to completely say screw what the tank has to do. Let's take a step back, heal the tank up a bit. Yeah, I'm not needing that. Oh, that's another thing I need. I actually forgot about that one. Damn. I guess it's the fact that most of my gear either has strength or no stats at all. Oh yeah, and this guy. Need to have a word with him.
Get Gavin or get going. Let the light of the new moon guide you.
See, this is why I didn't want to actually take the time to read the quest text. I knew dungeon groups, they want to move as fast as possible, which I can't blame them, you know. They're not on this or doing this to humor how I'm playing the game. You also saw earlier a good example of why I probably wouldn't be the greatest healer, because something completely minuscule like, oh no, somebody's dying because I'm way behind, and I was just like, oh god! They're gonna find out I'm a terrible healer and kick me out of this low-level dungeon that I could just re-queue for and probably wait about 30 seconds. Boy, they're gonna move at their own speed, or their own speed. Tank be damned. What we got here? Apparently I got that cloak too. You know, I'm just as guilty in this, but I'm also a little sad that nobody's really said a thing to anybody this whole dungeon. When the LFG thing first came out, people called it ahead of time. That was like, oh, this is going to be awful because nobody's going to talk to each other. But all I saw was the convenience, along with a lot of people. Now I really miss actually finding dungeon groups. Gotta wait for what's-his-face to show up here. Yep, there he is.
Any friend agreeing is a friend of mine.
And again, I'm not actually reading this just because I don't want to hold everybody up too much.
Good day.
I've done this enough times to know what it says. Well, it's a good thing I didn't make it all the way to Darnassus either, because now I don't have to come all the way back afterwards. I can just go turn this quest in and collect my weapon. So it's nice being so great that you're even recognized by the king himself. Oh boy. Didn't even need it in the end. Let's see if I can make this. Ha! Suckers go down and around.
Oi.
We did it, Mogan, at terrible cost, but victory is ours. This keep could serve well as a home for me and my pack, although we tend to prefer our more natural habitats. It may be best to leave it as a reminder of Godfrey's betrayal, and of the Bloodfang warriors that died in battle. What do we have here? An intellect breastplate or strength shoulders? I'm gonna go for the intellect breastplate.
Watch your back.
That'll be nice. Look at that, 730% upgrade. I guess this is technically an upgrade just because of the stamina on it, and I don't have a ring at all. So I have a little coffee left. It's freaking cold here. I don't know what it's like for you guys where you are, but holy crap. It's still not as cold as it's going to get, because if it's like it always gets coldest around February. And if it's already being like having 18-degree highs in December, that means it's probably going to be like -2 in February. That is, of course, in Fahrenheit. We don't speak that Canadian or British nonsense here. I know, I think I'm much funnier than I actually am. I am well aware that I would be significantly funnier if I actually had a personality. I actually thought I wasn't going to make that one. Not that it really matters. Now, let's go find us a dwarf willing to smelt this weapon, or create it. I do kind of miss the old days when when you had to actually work your way to mail. That was just last expansion. Or work your way to plate, because you always started off on mail and then you got plate at level 40. And I feel like some things got a little mixed up. It did gain some transmog items, I noticed, because there were some things that were strictly mail that now you can use. But I also wonder, like this thing that I just got, if I was, say, a resto shaman going through, would I have gotten the same thing and it just says mail instead of plate? I'm not actually sure on that. So, let's talk to this guy. You have a look of a blacksmith to you, soot under the nails and steel in your bones. Aye, very much the blood of a blacksmith in your veins, which means you come to me looking to learn a thing or two. Well, grab a hammer and let's see what I can teach you. I actually already worked on my blacksmithing. I'm not entirely sure I really need to worry about it because until Wrath of the Lich King content, you don't really get to make anything useful to Holy Paladins as a blacksmith. Do you have the materials for your weapon? Yep, I got my Moonsteel, my Commander's Holy Symbol, and Deathless Sinew. I'm not entirely sure why I needed Sinew from Undead Ghouls, but I brought it for you. Lord Grayson has told me much about you and your dedication to the Light and the Alliance. It'll be a great honor to craft a hammer for you, Mogon. Alright, what do I want? Got Mace of the Order, which offers intellect, stamina, and versatility. I'd like to... Shoot, I'm actually afraid. Then if I click on it... Warhammer of the Order, which is strength, stamina, also strength, stamina. But obviously I'm going for the intellect mace. Which is actually really funny now that I think about it, because these are item level 20, which item level isn't that relevant right now. But I think the strength and stamina ones, it sends you to Shadowfang Keep, where you can get a weapon that's stronger than the weapon they're sending you to Shadowfang Keep for. Yeah. Needless to say, it's an honor to work on behalf of such an upstanding servant of the Light and the Alliance. It's been years since I last worked with Moonsteel, but I haven't forgotten the technique. Dane, join me in the anvil. Took 2 of them to make my hammer. Yeah, I even lose a little bit of stamina, but that's not that big a deal. That is actually a really cool looking weapon. I like that. Let's see what the other 2 would have looked like. We got... Oh, I guess it didn't give me both of them, maybe? Let's see. 2-handed maces. Warhammer of the Order. Maybe that was it? The Warhammer of the Order, which is a 2-hander. 1-handed mace. Let's see. Let's type in order and see what we got. Gavel of the Order. Yeah, that probably would have been the... Okay, so those would be pretty nice. That Warhammer, though, was pretty neat. Alright, I'm actually... For some reason, I just anticipated that taking longer than it actually did, and it really didn't. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to Darkshore for a little bit. Not going to make it too far, but we can go ahead and get it started. Get a few things underway. Kind of wondering, like... If I'm doing all of these questing zones, am I going to get a full plate set of intellect gear, or does it not really offer that much of it in the beginning zones? Shoot, I could have gone back and around because I forgot that dock loops around and makes it slightly faster to get there. Oops. Did the same mistake again. Nice. To heck with it. My horse is tough. Now we play the waiting game. Unless they can tell me where it is. From this dock, the Bravery travels back and forth between Stormwind and Rutharan Village. Ooh, you might need to update that. It doesn't stop at Rutharan anymore, not since the Cataclysm. You know, it's only 6 years out of date. So I'm pretty sure Cataclysm came out, wasn't it November of 2010? Let's look that up while we're waiting. Cataclysm. Release date. December 7th, 2010. Wow, that was actually pretty late in the year for an expansion. I actually remember sitting in I was in college, and I just remember sitting in the dining hall and seeing the commercials for the Cataclysm coming up on the TV all the time. Oh, here comes our ride. Probably need to come up with the name for this horse. I would put it to, or would ask Twitter and stuff, but I have a feeling before it was all over, I'd end up having a horse named Horsey McHorseface. What do these people have to say? We're sworn to do our very best to protect the passengers of the Bravery, the sea lane between Rutharan. Nope, it's not Rutharan anymore, but I guess you can't be expected to fix everything. This Grey and Sea Dog may be the oldest of the crew, but he is also the toughest of the lot. Arms like an ogre. I'll take your word for it.
My, you're a tall one.
So you sell a few things. Let's get rid of some junk with you. Don't need this anymore, or that. Don't really need that anymore either.
Looking for something specific?
Bear that in mind. I think you can actually cook. Oh, those are all cooked. Thought they were the raw versions. Oh, I just remembered. If I'm doing this, I'll have to go through Vashtir. Because everybody loved that zone. Wait. Is this Rutharan Village? I thought it was... Oh, it is. I thought Rutharan Village was the one over in Darkshore. Welp. Lesson learned today. Let's go ahead and check out Darnassus. I actually really like it here. I know some of it seems a little outdated, but man, this is probably one of the coolest looking places back before everything got like the super graphics overhauls. Oh, there's a Hero's Call board, although I don't know if I really need it. It's just telling me to go to Ashenvale. I'm not going to Ashenvale. Not yet, anyways. I will eventually. Yep, there is nothing there for me. Let's head on over to Rutharan. Or not Rutharan. Whatever the actual place I'm supposed to go is, which I apparently don't know this game well enough to remember. Oh, yeah. Just talk to you. You can give me a flight. Lord Danelle. Okay. I was way off. I like how it's so massive you never actually get to see Darnassus clearly. I feel like that was intentional too, because it's actually slightly less impressive when you see it, because you think it's like a giant tree, but it's kind of like it's just a giant stump that has regular sized tree branches growing out of it, and it looks kind of awkward. I think if you're falling down the sides, you're not really taking the time to realize that it's not as tall as it is wide. Let's see. Oh, I'm going to actually have to turn on low-level quests. That's right, because I'm, like, out-leveled for these areas. Alright, it's too late for Laird. He didn't make it in time. Oh. Priestess, I am to bring word that there are more survivors incoming. They are doing everything they can to sift through the ones that are still alive. Please send any help you can. Understood, Sentinel. Return to the beach and aid them in bringing back any that are still alive. Anyways, interrupted the quest text. The last wave of night elves from Aberdeen attempted to escape a couple of hours ago. They stayed in their old home, clinging to the hope that it could be salvaged. But it seems that they were finally forced out. I fear that many of them won't make it, like Laird did not. Quickly, go down to the coast to the west, and find any survivors that you can. We are sending sentinels and hippogriffs down, but every moment counts. We need to know which ones might not make it. I would also actually be really interested in seeing what this zone was like in vanilla. Ah, the classic look of every freshly out of Gilneas Worgen. That white, or cloth-wearing Worgen anyways, that white dress, the blue cape, same staff, same top hat, every single one of them. If you're not wearing heirlooms and you're clothy, you're coming out in that. Alright, let's set this as my home. Let's see. Just following the map, there's not many quests out here yet. You there, we need able bodies as fast as possible. Lives depend on it. Well, alright, we're here to help. Threat from the water. Some of the survivors of this last Aberdeen attack are still trying to make it up the coast for safety. We only caught word that they were coming within the last hour. I wish we had more warning. The coastline west of us is swarming with vile spray, vicious little water elementals. We need to clear them out if any of the survivors are to have a chance of making it to Lord Danil. Depart immediately and kill every elemental you see. Oh dang, that guy's huge. Bet I could kill him though. Kind of the advantage of not only being a healer, but also being let's like, what am I, 8 levels higher than it right now? Yeah. Ah, these are the guys I want. Give him a good wave. If this gnome, or if this dwarf is gonna no. I feel like somehow it's racist to confuse a dwarf for a gnome just because they're short. If this dwarf is eventually going to be in Clan Battlehammer, he definitely has to love Worgen. You're too far out. I'm not gonna go searching for you like that. I feel like realistically I should be all about rescuing survivors and not even caring about the vile sprays until it's all said and done. You get one shot, you get one shot, everybody gets one shot. Volkor's body lies motionless. As you begin to move away, a hand reaches out and grasps your ankle. He's alive. Thought somebody was supposed to come and, like, we're gonna take him away. Up there they are. Volkor, I'm so glad to see that you made it. But where is Grimclaw? Oh, I think Grimclaw's his pet bear. Grishala rolls onto his side and looks at you as you approach, and you see a hopeful smile creep onto his face. Grishala, Dentaria will be so happy to see you alive. I'll take him back to the priestess. Thank you for your kindness. That looks like a copper vein for me. Of course, me being a diggy dwarf, gotta have my copper, gotta mine everything. Cerulean Whiteclaw. Name seems familiar. Oh. As you approach, you hear Cerulean gasp for breath. He looks to stand a chance if rescued soon. What's really sucky though is, like, look, I can target him and heal him, but I just heal myself. Like, I get why. Cerulean, you made it. I'll take him back to Lord Danell. Thank you for your help, stranger. See, I feel like, let's see, all these people used to be NPCs before the Cataclysm. Like, let's see. I'm going to do a quick search for Gwyneth by Legond. Let's see. Let's do a WoW Wiki version. She was a level 21 quest giver located in Aberdeen. Aberdeen, I guess, was out here? I don't actually remember. But I know that, or maybe it was over this way. I know that when he came out here, there was just these giant docks that spanned out into the water pretty far, and I think the boat from Stormwind went there instead of over to Rutharn, where we first came in. That place that I thought was Lord Danell, and got the name mixed up. And then Shaldin. A whisper escapes Shaldin's throat as you approach. Help, please. Shaldin, I will see to it that Shaldin is returned safely. Thank you, hero. Well, you're welcome. Now I can focus on killing these vile sprays. You know, just one-shotting them. And I'm done. Think I'll go turn these in, and then I'll leave it at that, because I know I haven't really been streaming as long as I usually do. Hasn't even been a full hour, I think. But I have quite a bit to do today. Maybe I'll come back later, or later tonight or something. But in the meantime, you know, adults gotta make money. Not sure I would actually survive playing WoW all day, every day. Alright. Ranger Glinda Alshay. Your efforts are very much appreciated. Since the Cataclysm, the elementals have been out of control. We have little hope of bringing back Aberdeen without extinguishing their presence first.
Be careful.
I am now honored with Darnassus. Neat.
honor.
Thank you, Paladin. Some of them surely would not have made it without you. We'll be taking the wounded to the main building once we have them all safely back in town. Perhaps we can, or you can meet them there later?
Asha Velad.
Sure. Yeah, it looks like I have 2 more quests up on the map. I will jump to those next time on Dragon Ball Z. Oops, you're just a trainer. I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk to somebody I can throw crap at. Oh, I don't need these.
May the stars guide
I have a
you.
mace. I don't need that. Alright. Well, guys, thanks for watching this really short one. I'll try to be back later today if possible. No actual promises. So, thanks for watching this. We will continue with Darkshore when we come back. Doubt we'll come anywhere close to finishing it, though, because it's a huge zone. So, see you guys later.